Let's get into it. Khabib.
Right. UFC 229.
Woo.
Versus McGregor.
Wow.
Khabib, McGregor. They were, Conor got his ass whooped.
100%.
Straight up. Got choked the fuck out. It was amazing.
Before all that, though, who were you cheering for going into the fight?
Oh, Khabib.
Now, is that just because McGregor's a cocky motherfucker and he deserved to be knocked out, or because you genuinely think that Khabib is a better fighter than McGregor?
Both.
Okay.
Well, more so the latter. Khabib is legit, wild. Man's never lost a round, ever. He's 26-0. There's videos of man's wrestling bears as a 9-year-old.
It's true.
Wow.
Nah, man. Once I did my little 1-2 research, I was like, oh, okay. And everybody was like, yeah, no, Conor's an underdog for a reason.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. So then when he went in there and he thumped him up, and then also during the weigh-ins and shit, Conor was going that extra fuckboy shit, and then he got into some stuff, and it was like, nah, man. The way Khabib would always just sit there chilling, just you could see the man's was mad. Man's was hot.
Yeah, he was waiting.
And so when they got in that cage, and then also when you noticed, did you notice too? Because a lot of people were like, damn, there's a lot. They had so many extra security in the ring before the fight even started.
Yeah.
Because usually they have maybe 1 or 2 beside each fighter. They had 6.
It's they were waiting
in the middle to make sure nothing happened. When they went up to touch gloves, usually it's 1, and then Dean Herbert,
they
whatever
didn't even
ref.
touch.
They
didn't touch.
Nope.
Each guy was surrounded by security. They went up. They're like, you guys touching? They're like, nope. Okay, no. Get back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was wild. It was so much tense. And I'll just say this off the rip. Yeah, it was stupid what Khabib did, but I would have done the exact same thing.
Well, I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of the interviews afterwards.
Yeah,
where,
I got it pulled up.
Yeah. Ooh,
Perfect.
shit. But because they decided at the time to not belt him, and then
they couldn't.
Afterwards, which when whoever the organizer or whatever that guy's name is,
Dana White.
him, once he explained himself and he was just like, listen, if we did that, it would have been a riot, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which makes sense. So when Khabib had the chance to kind of explain, he's like, why are you guys mad at me? How come nobody's shining the light on McGregor when he was
play it.
Please,
run that.
let's do that.
Run that.
When he's talking
First of all, I want to say sorry to Athletic Commission, Nevada, sorry to Vegas. I know this is not my best side. This is not my best side. I'm human being, and I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage. What about he talk about my religion? He talk about my country. He talk about my father.
Yeah.
He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus. He almost killed couple people.
True.
What about this? Why people talk about I jump over the cage? Why?
Yeah, this is exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much on his side.
For sure.
People love to say all kind of wild shit, and then when you react, how if somebody offended would react, they're like, "Yo, calm down. It was just words. What do you mean?" It's like, no. You say something wild, you put that energy out there. You're not allowed to tell people how to respond.
Exactly.
They can come at you anyway. And what I was on another press conference, one of the reporters said, Khabib's man's called. Conor's man's the reason why Khabib jumped out of the cage was because first he just threw his mouthpiece at the guy, and he was just walking over, and the dude was like, dude, he said something like, "Fuck you, you Muslim rat."
Ooh.
Wow.
And then they're like, yeah, and then Khabib snapped, and I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, come on.
Anybody would.
Especially, I find a lot of people with different kinds of ethnicities, they automatically just say whatever shit, oh, Muslim this, Muslim that, and attack their religion and stuff, because it's easy just to fucking hate on that and not actually focus on the true talent. So I'm really happy that he won at the end of the day, because none of that should even be brought up. I think it's whack.
I mean, he jumped off the side of that ring like he was trying to do something, though.
That shit was mad funny, though.
He was trying to do a putty kick on somebody.
He was 2 foot
For real.
stomping somebody. That
For
shit,
real.
Yo, it was so surreal to watch. Real time, I was watching it happen, and I'm like, yo, this is mad dope. This is mad hilarious. And then it was until after it ended, and I'm like, wait a minute. What we just saw was really not. That's a big deal. I mean.
And then the people start jumping into the ring.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, that was his trainers. Like, cause the trainers usually come in the ring after the fights, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So his trainers were in there, and then Conor threw the first punch at one of the trainers, and then another dude in the red jumped in, punched Conor. So there's a bunch of shit.
And see, I love how they at first they're like, oh well, as far as I'm concerned, you know, Khabib, he jumped over the thing, and then McGregor got attacked, and it's like, no, only until people started putting out more footage
Yeah.
could you actually see that McGregor was the one who threw the first punch
In the ring, yeah,
in the
yeah.
ring, which got one of his guys to get all hyped. They were holding him back, and then
Yeah,
he ended
yeah.
up getting around, and then the next dude jumped over and just
Yeah.
like clapped him one
Yeah.
time.
It was a bunch of like everybody was wilding. Like everybody was wilding. Like I was like, honestly, a lot of people were like, oh my god, this is horrible. I'm like, yo man, this shit's just funny.
It's
like
funny.
can we just laugh? Like they're all fighters. He didn't jump in the stands to fight the fans. Some
Nope.
people said that like, yeah, you can't jump in and fight fans. He wasn't fighting fans. He was fighting another fighter that disrespected him. Like, and even like, I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's like, there's probably 30% of the people that are in there are professional fighters.
100%.
Yeah.
So like, jumping in that crowd is a bit different than like Ron Artest going
Well-
in the stands.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit
Start
different.
clapping. to her.
Even
Yeah.
when you've seen a lot of the fights that broke out between some of like the dudes, you could tell that they were just like juice monkey
yeah. Oh,
fucking
yeah.
fighters ready to like throw
There was
down.
gonna be fights after that particular fight.
No matter
either
what.
way, like it
No
was
matter
so
what.
much Russia versus Ireland bullshit, and it just, which is what Conor likes to like always go for, the extra little low shit.
Yeah,
and then
just like we did with what's his name.
he ran into somebody who took it way more seriously than he even probably meant it.
Yep.
Because honestly, even with the shit with Mayweather, he knew exactly what he was saying. He was saying,
It was
boy.
all race.
But-
it was all race.
But realistically, like he didn't mean any of it. Because if you meant it, they wouldn't have been so chill after the fight.
Truth.
Like they were both just like laughing and.
So
and
do you
fucking,
feel like it was all just a hype, that one?
Oh, that
Oh, how
was
much
definitely
that
a
was all
hype.
hype. That was
Because
all
it's
hype.
like
That was all hype.
two different
They're the same
lanes,
guy,
right?
They're the same guy.
Yeah.
Like,
one's a boxer, one's MMA. So
This is how deep, like, Mayweather knew exactly what he was doing. He changed his name from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather in 2008.
Yeah.
What happened in the States in 2008? The financial crash. So that's, like, he played into being that money guy, being the hated one so much. Like, that's why he would always put his fights on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
He ain't Mexican.
Yeah.
He did that and fight a Mexican on Cinco de Mayo just to, like, so, like, they're the same person. And so, like, when they got together, they're like, all right, we'll
Yeah.
push it,
let's
push
split
it.
$100 million.
Oh, they made
They
too
made
much
so
money.
much money
They
off
made
that
too
fight.
much money.
Rummy Code Radio. Rummy Code Radio. Rummy Code.